Hello and welcome to another episode of Slice and Dice Ecom. I'm Josh, the founder of ClickSlice, and once again we're joined by the lovely.
Holly. I am a senior content strategist with ClickSlice.
In this one, we want to discuss a really hot topic. Lots of hot topics within the hot topic, actually. And the core topic of this one is going to be about the best content marketing strategy for ecom brands. And I don't just mean publish content, hope for the best, right? You know, there's top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, as we discussed so many times. But another part we haven't actually touched on in previous episodes is email marketing, which is absolutely massive for ecom brands. And
100%.
it's becoming more and more hotter every year, I guess. Does that make sense? So what I look at is kind of the intersection between email and SEO and just general content marketing strategies on the whole. Because a lot of brands are watching this. They know how important content is. They know they need blogs, they need video. They know about email, Klaviyo, all the pop-ups and whatnot. But from your opinion, from working on all our client campaigns and from what you've seen from historical data as well, you know, let's start with the basics, right? Like, what does SEO content bring to the table from a marketing perspective?
Okay, well, I mean, for SEO, obviously, the main thing that it's bringing to the table is organic traffic. And I think possibly like that's the most important thing, right? So SEO brings new people into your funnel, whereas email might keep them around for a little bit longer. But some of the things that we don't speak about often in SEO is that it compounds over time, and that's a really exciting thing. So it brings new people in, but also it lasts for a lot longer. Your one blog. I mean, we've written blogs for clients in the past that are like, even now, 2 years later, they're still bringing in traffic, they're still bringing in leads. Yeah. It's like really difficult to quantify how much that blog has brought in, because it's bringing in so much traffic all the time. Also, SEO, I think, is really important for establishing that trust and credibility, building your like online reputation. That's why it's so closely intertwined with like digital PR, all of that type of stuff, like really building your brand. And I read somewhere, actually, someone described this as like a balloon. So your SEO is like a balloon, and the more content that you put in, the bigger you blow up that balloon, the more people can see it. It's quite a nice way of describing it, right? So SEO is getting your balloon really big, right? Like it's inflating your balloon with lots of great content pieces that keep people around and keep bringing new people into the funnel.
Awesome. And I think you said the trust and credibility. I think there's just something about organic results where users just trust it more because you're not paying to be there. And I think I've got into a habit, maybe I'm biased because I'm running an SEO agency, but when I Google something, I typically just scroll past the ads. I don't want to see them. Like I just go straight to organic, and I just believe that is the best and trustworthy, credible source that Google's given me.
But the amount of times I've written a blog post and it's ranking number 1, I'm like, I don't know the answer to that question. I just Googled it.
Just Googled it. Oh no, don't say that. We actually do a lot of research, definitely.
No, I'm just checking.
No, okay, so we know SEO is great, right? But like the downside to SEO, let's be honest, it doesn't always kick in immediately. So like what would you say are the disadvantages of just relying on SEO to kind of build your funnel?
Yeah, and I think it is obviously that idea that SEO is not something that you're going to see results from tomorrow. If you come on and start an SEO campaign, you're going to get results in the next like 2 or 3 months. And that's why you're really going to see, okay, this is like the proof of the pudding, you know? And so it is a little bit of a step into faith kind of thing. And I think that actually, on a bit of an aside, is why selling SEO or like SEO as a strategy is quite hard. And I've certainly been in client meetings where people are saying, you know, when can I start to see results from this? And I'm like, well, in about 6 months. Like, no, I've not got time for that. But the thing is, like, it's you could just do it now and then see those results in 6 months, or you can be here in 6 months and be looking at another 6 months before you see results. Like that's how you got to look 100%. At it. Like if you're a serious brand, you've got to play the long game, right? But also, I think some of the other things is like, staying on top of SEO isn't just a one-off thing. It's not like a checkbox, like, okay, I've got a blog, boom, done. There's so many like moving parts to it, and that's really complicated to manage and organize. And I think also there's like challenges in strategizing this. There's always changes, things like, you know, the algorithm changes. And so sometimes, and we're like, you know, something that was performing really, really well now isn't performing really well, and you've got to see why. So there are challenges with that. But I think one of the things that we often sort of like neglect to talk about in SEO is that a compounding effect, but also it's this idea that your website belongs to you. It's your asset.
You own it.
And when you're investing into those things, it's performing well for you, right? And that's really important. Like, it's your thing. That's your business, really. Like, at the end of the day, what do we have if we didn't have our website?
100%. And you mentioned like SEO is more of a long-term thing. And, I think most brands, they view it wrong. It's like, do I do SEO or do I do Google ads or paid social? It's like, you should be doing all of them. It's not one or the other. And the ideal situation, which happens for a lot of brands you work with, is they start with the paid ads and sometimes even paid social. They get sales, then use their money to invest in organic search and start to generate more sales from organic search. They can actually lower their ad spend and the revenue doesn't drop. But the CAC, though, so the customer acquisition cost, goes down.
Or maybe they won't even like lower the ad spend, but maybe they're like a victim of all of these kind of like privacy laws that are coming in. And how many, actually that was great for us, like we got a lot of business because you realize that actually what you're investing into is just, Mark Zuckerberg's back pocket, and he can just change that at any time. And
I haven't told you the horror stories we've had, by the way.
Yeah,
so
I'm interested.
Obviously, Matt, who does all the sales calls, head of sales at ClickSlice, he gets calls all the time where it's an Ecom brand literally saying, "Oh my gosh, I need to do SEO like right now." Like, oh, okay, cool, that's great. Like,
yeah, let's go.
Was you on the target? And like, what's going on? Oh, my ad account got banned last night. And it's like, oh wow, so you have a whole team, a whole operation run on your one ad account. You now have no traffic because you've been renting that traffic. What the hell? Like, we can't get you sales for at least from your campaign like 4 months. And that's like being very generous. If you've done no SEO, you've neglected it, you're looking at least 6 to 9 months because you need to build that credibility, that trust, authority, relevancy, all these buzzwords that I say all the time. So yeah, it's crazy. And it always just shocks me. Like, if you run an ecom brand, you need to be doing everything. And even us, we're an SEO agency. We generate the bulk of our leads from ranking it for SEO terms, but we have emails, the email funnel you wrote actually for us quite recently. We have paid search, we have Google ads, we've got paid social, we've got meta ads. We're active on LinkedIn. Like, we're multi-channel when it comes to leads. And
it's just about risk management at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, if you've got one point of a single point of failure in your business, like, you need to action that right away, because it could, and that is something that you see this all the time, and that it could change in one day. And if you don't own that, and this digital space, like, we really believe that we own the things that we're putting out, but you can spend years building up a social media following, and in a second it can be taken from you. There's many horror stories like that.
For the reference, I mean, for those brands who are watching, they think, what happened to me? What happened to me? Like, telling you, like, build a moat around your business, because more often than not, sometimes you could do nothing wrong and you have an issue with Facebook where your account gets maybe temporarily suspended for a week and it gets reinstated, and it's all fine, but you lost a week of sales. That happens during Black Friday or start of the year in Jan. That can be quite detrimental, especially for seasonal businesses that get majority of the sales in one period of the year. So yeah, definitely something to think about for sure. But nothing better than owning your asset. Like, it just gives you, like you said, that complete security. So moving away from SEO, right, and kind of that whole part of owning the asset, what about email marketing? Because that is a massive topic. It's getting hotter and hotter. People are speaking about it. There's lots of different tools out there. What does email marketing bring to the table? So you've invested in SEO or paid ads, whatever. You've got someone's email. How can you now use that from a content marketing aspect to generate more revenue for your brand?
Well, one thing to say is that just like SEO is an asset, your email list is also a huge asset. And as an aside, I actually once met someone really early in my career, and he was a multimillionaire. And the reason he was a multimillionaire was because he just had a great email list and then he sold it. That's it. Like, what a great way to bring in revenue when you want to exit your business. But that's an aside. But I think when your email marketing is an asset, but it comes a little bit further down that relationship, right? So if you're neglecting your emails, you're also neglecting this nurturing sequence, this sort of middle of the funnel and the bottom of the funnel content. That is really important. And it all links together. It links in with SEO too, because once you've got people that are coming back and that repeat business and those people, even direct traffic, the more people that you can have on your site, the more improved your SEO results will be. So email marketing is direct to your customer, whereas an SEO would be you're publishing that out to all of the world, right? You're looking at
front of a fishing rod.
Yeah.
Lake, right? Just hoping someone comes and sees it.
Yeah, just hoping, praying. No, with a strategy behind it. But also you're thinking, email has like higher conversion rates too, because while SEO, you might publish a blog, you might get 10,000 people looking at that blog, and then only a couple of them will go on to be your customers. But that's to be expected, right? You can't have all of those visitors to the blog to becoming customers. But for emails, we can really, really target those customers that we know have bought from us before. And as well as that, of course, we can think about personalizing that content, A/B testing it. There's like infinite possibilities.
Segmentation is massive
yeah,
as well.
absolutely, 100%. So there's so many ways that we can bring our put our own like creativity or own like personal touch and speak to that customer directly, speak to that person, that individual. Whereas SEO is a bit more of like a, how do they say it, like a blunt tool, almost like a blunt object, because it's like targeting so many people. Whereas email marketing, we can really target that individual person.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think just touch on, it's probably a little bit off topic, but I think when brands are looking at the ROI of an SEO campaign, they normally see like, okay, my traffic's gone up, great. Sales gone up, great. So that SEO, I spent X amount and it outputted X, Y, Z. But actually, SEO contributes to your email list as well. So, you know, kind of getting clear on the real value of SEO and the real ROI is multifaceted, and it's quite very difficult to actually figure out, because we can't say, did that email subscriber come from a paid ad or did it come from, you know, organic search, especially if you ain't got it configured and set up properly. But you know, I think I'll just touch on that, because we do discuss that with a lot of clients who work with. We're like, well, yes, your traffic's gone up, yes, it's only a month of the campaign, but your email list has actually grown drastically, by the way, and you can send emails to those customer lists and you're going to get sales. So it's all intertwined, and I think 100%. Too many brands see it as standalone things: email marketing, content, paid search, organic search, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And I think one of the things as well that I'm quite shocked by, and if you're an e-commerce brand out there and you're listening, like, this is something that you really need to take action on. But I see so many brands that come to us maybe, and they're already making money, you know, that's where they're at, right, for this stage. And they haven't maybe got an email marketing sort of plan, or they're sending out a couple of emails, but nothing like major. And the potential for that is really significant, like really, really significant. You could just put out a couple of these sort of sequences and a couple of respark sequences to old customers, and you're ready to like get that ROI sort of directly. So if you're kind of like coming for an SEO strategy and you're thinking, oh, I've got 6 months before I see those results. Well, also talk to us a little bit about emails, right? Because we can help you put those into place and probably see those results straight away.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important to touch on. And I've actually lost count of how many brands come to us and don't have an automated email sequence set up. If you're in Klaviyo, it's obviously a flow. Like the client we spoke to, when was it? End of April. They sell furniture. And it's like, you know, you have no flow set up for abandoned checkouts. Like, how many customers add stuff to the basket and don't check out? Yeah, that should be an automated email sequence. Like, it's just crazy. So I think when you look at it holistically, again, too many brands are sitting on, I'd say probably, depending on how large a brand is, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds of revenue every year just from not automating things.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to add to that as well, like how many brands come to us maybe with a flow that they've got, that they set up when they came in business like 3 years ago, and then they've not looked at that, and their email sequence is maybe like 2 emails long, and it has they've not looked at the metrics, they've not made any edits to the AB, like to the subjects at all. And they haven't got a clue how this is performing. They're just like, yeah, checkbox. But there's so much potential there. And it's really exciting, actually, when I see a brand like that.
So email, we said, hot topic, lots of pros, right? What about the cons? Because they can't all be pros, right? What's the downside to email?
So yeah, sure. One of the big sort of downsides of emails is that it's not, again, I guess this is a similarity with the SEO, right? But it's not something that you can just do straight away. It takes time to build and nurture your list. And if you have been that brand who's been neglecting your list for a couple of years, you'll probably find you need a bit of work to sort of prune and refine that, to make sure that we're targeting the right people, to make sure that we're not getting sort of flagged for spam. And this is the next kind of downside, is that emails can be a bit of a tricky mistress, right? Like they have a lot of rules, and there's a lot of regulation around who you can and can't contact now. And that can be quite a challenge for a brand to navigate by themselves. It's can be quite difficult. And you know, we did mention that about sort of social media earlier, like if your account gets banned, but if you're misbehaving on these like email platforms, you can also be blacklisted from an email platform. So that, although you own that data and that list, you've got to be careful, and you've got to be really up to date on the regulation. It's always changing. I think the other thing as well is that I mean, I don't know about you, but I actually have like a separate email for receiving emails.
For your junk, basically.
Yeah, the junk
Yeah.
email. And sometimes I do check that. I do look at the emails, and you know, I'm a content marketer, right? So I'm always looking for ways that I can improve that of my own writing. So I do sign up to newsletters. I'm not saying that that's not the case at all. But people do get tired of receiving emails, don't they? The amount of times I've looked at my phone and it's been like,
especially Black Friday. You open your
oh
phone
my
and
goodness,
like you've got 100 emails, literally in the first 10 minutes.
Yes.
It's a bit too much.
Oh, you sign up for something, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to buy this. Like, yes, I'm ready. I want my 20% off. Like, yeah, let's go. And then I get hundreds of emails in the next week and it makes me regret it. So navigating that also, like, about your customer, but it comes down to everything that I'm always saying in content marketing. It comes down to this idea of putting your customer first. Is this value packed emails that they are ready, that they want? Or are we sending out just spam emails all the time? Like, we've really got to come back to that. But yeah, I think there are some downsides to it. It's not all
rosy.
Not with anything. It's not all rosy. But yeah, I think in general that emails is an untapped potential for many brands.
Good. So if brands are watching this, right, and they're thinking, right, you touched on, you know, building my email list through organic content, whether it's a blog post, a video, or just, you know, compiling my email list and sending email campaigns, because these are all strategies that brands can use to generate more revenue, right? What would you say is more impactful? So like if you're a brand and you're watching this and you think, do I invest in SEO or do I run paid ads? You know, do I just do email marketing and forget that? Like, what would your advice be to them?
Yeah. And if you're maybe like weighing up different strategies, you're thinking like, oh, you know, I've got X amount of money to invest. Should I invest in SEO? Or should I invest in email marketing? Like, what should I do? Maybe you're in that situation. And I think really the question that we need to ask is like, why is it either or? Like, why is it one thing or the other? Because content marketing is a holistic experience. Like, it's about giving your customers answers to the questions that they're looking for and reaching them in the way that they want to be reached. And so it's not like, yeah, email marketing is better or yeah, SEO is better. In fact, the best brands have all of these things and they're doing all of these things. I do understand though that can be quite overwhelming and it's a lot. Like then you know that doesn't help you if you've only got X amount of budget. What should you prioritize yourself on? But I think about your business plan, think about where you want to be in the next like few months and think about what you already have. So if you don't have an email list, of course, like SEO is the way that you're going to build that in a reliable long-term way. If you've already got an email list and you need to make sales now, maybe that would be the way that you would go down that route and look at SEO as more of a long-term play because that's what it is, right?
100%. And just to touch on that as well, if you're a brand watching this and you have a big email list and that's pretty much it, you're sending emails, you may think, right, I've got an email list, I've got the best email flow sequences, I can't do nothing else with this. You can actually upload your email list into tools like Meta as a custom audience and then tell Meta to create a lookalike audience based on the email list you've uploaded, which you know are customers. And it will start showing you as the people that have similarities to the people on your email list. And that's actually way more effective and target than just saying, show my ad about furniture to people that may be interested in furniture, like as an audience target and saying, it's not that great, it's quite generic. So when you have that data, which is like gold dust in terms of marketing, you can upload it and be so more targeted with your ads. It's what we do for ClickSlice.
No, really, that's really interesting.
When the books, I shouldn't say it. When the books are cool with us, we can create a lookalike audience based of it and then show it as the people that will book calls with us, and it performs really, really well.
But that just comes back to this idea that, you know, invest in things that are your assets. So if you've got things like paid ads, you know, that's great, but it all depends on the asset that you're bringing to that. And so if you're a startup business, you know, if you're looking to generate that and you're completely new to the space, new to the ecom space, where should you prioritize? I think for me, if it was me, I'd prioritize building those assets first, because that will future-proof your business, really.
100%. I would pay a fortune to get someone else's email list, like another agency's email list. 100%.
That's how that guy became a millionaire.
Yeah, it'd take me years of spending that money to get it myself. You can fast track or skip the line in an ethical way, of course. There's a caveat. No, also really good. I really enjoyed that one. Lots of value as always. Thank you for joining me once again.
Yeah, thanks, Joshua. Thanks for having me on.
Any other questions you want us to cover, guys, please put them in the comments below. I'm more than happy to get Holly back on and do another deep dive into another content topic.
Another content
Topic of content,
yeah.
content topic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's it.
That was it. Thank you for watching once again. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video online if you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you in another episode of Slice and Dice.
Goodbye.
Bye.